journaling time.
Hey, what's up,
Hello.
party people? We're back and we're feeling way better this week.
Yes.
So,
Hello,
if you
everyone.
saw last week's session, we're gonna up the energy this time. But that was cathartic. It was good, but now it's time to get back into the journal party vibe, as most of you know it. But side note, thank you so much. Last week was so therapeutic for us, and just been spending every day since, like, really thinking about this really amazing community that we've built here, and how grateful that I am that we have this. In the good times and the bad. That's what families are for. I feel like that's what we are now, not just a party. We have family. So pretty
Exactly.
good. Let me take a look into the chat, see who's here. All right, love to see it. We got Melissa's in the house. We got Shanda's in the house.
Hi
What's up,
there.
everyone?
Hello.
And give everyone a couple more minutes to trickle in. Hopefully people show up. I accidentally sent the wrong date in the email, if you caught that. But we sent a correction email. Probably lose some subscribers because of that. But you know what? They probably weren't down to clown anyway. So, so it goes. Gabby's in the house. What's
Hi,
up? What's
Gabby.
up? Gem for Life. Starting a new journal. Congrats. This will be a
Amazing.
good
Such
one.
good feeling. I'm in the same boat. Brand new. It feels so good.
Got Deidre's here.
There.
Trish is here.
Hi.
Dale's in the house. What's up, Dale?
Hello.
All right. Oh, yeah. So definitely let us know if there's any newbies in the house. I see a couple folks I don't recognize. And in the meantime, I'll start getting our little program ready here. So let's see. Gabby says, I heard you were close by the previous days ago. Well, I'm not sure about that. We've been pretty stuck at home lately. Actually, well, I don't know. When was the last time we traveled? Like a couple weeks ago?
No, honey. We went like last weekend to Temecula.
Oh goodness. Oh, that's right. Man.
That was,
Well,
yeah,
you know
I
what though?
know.
I was on another realm, just concerned about our poor pup. But yeah, that's right. Gosh, craziness. What's up, Mary? Good to see you.
That's right.
Jem
Yes,
says
Gabby.
I jump in
Letting your vibe.
via YouTube or the app or Facebook. It's my second or third time live. Awesome. Excellent. Yes. It was a lovely wedding. Temecula is beautiful, gorgeous, some gorgeous spaces out there. So really nice place to get hitched, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's that, babe?
Oh no, go ahead. Never mind.
Okay. Sorry, I don't want to speak over you, lest I be a bad husband. All right. So this evening we've got a really solid program. I've been looking forward to doing this one for a while now, actually. So normally we debut like the newest program of the week, and this is actually one that we had to cancel a live stream for, and so we're bringing it back because it deserves to be journaled through with all the party people. And so the program that we're going to be going through tonight is called Release Attachments, and so. I'm not talking about like vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. What we're talking about is releasing the emotional grip held over people, outcomes, and all sorts of things, really, even vacuums, and allowing events to unfold without striving for control or certainty, which is very difficult for yours truly. And so I'm really looking forward to this one. And so this process is going to encourage greater acceptance, peace, as well as resilience in the face of change, which is the only constant, paradoxically. Anyway, so I think the benefits that we can enjoy if we do this correctly will be letting go of our attachments to lead to increased emotional freedom, reduced stress, and better relationships even. So when you're no longer tethered to an outcome, decisions and interactions tend to be more authentic and less reactive, which is a place that I could certainly be given my current events. And so, I don't know about all you, but I'm really, really looking forward to this one. Um, you know, the program will have you, kind of work through a specific attachment. And so, maybe take a moment to think about something that you're hanging on to, maybe something that isn't super healthy for you, or maybe just something that's, because you're so attached to it, it's affecting you in a way that you'd like to explore or maybe even change. Give me 1 second here. All right. Sorry, just seeing if we had any more folks showing up in the chat. So I think we're about ready to get this party started. Alex, did you have any questions or anything you wanted to share with the group before we get going?
I
You
don't
want to
think
do
so. I
the
think
odds or evens tonight?
I will do odds. I will start us off.
Odds. All right. Like it. I like it a lot. Cool. All right. Well, if everyone's ready to go, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know that you're all ready. Open up that journal. Make sure you got a beverage or a snack or something. And when I see that everybody's ready to rock, we will get rolling. Rock and roll. I should also probably go ahead and put the ticker on that I always forget about.
Oh yes, hi Gabby.
All right. I think it's time to get rocking. All right. Here we go. Alex, take it away.
All right, let's get going. Spotting the grip. What is an attachment to a person, outcome, or possession that feels restrictive?
The root of need. When you feel attached to a specific result, what is the underlying need you're trying to fulfill?
The cost of clinging. How is the attachment preventing you from feeling at peace or experiencing new growth?
Envisioning freedom. Imagine your life if you were completely free from this attachment. What new possibilities or opportunities emerge?
Acknowledge and honor. What is one valuable lesson or a positive memory you can take with you from this attachment as you prepare to release it?
Kindness in the process. Releasing an attachment can be difficult. What is one way you can be kind and gentle with yourself through this process?
Rewriting the story. How can you begin to tell a new story about this situation? One that focuses on your power and choice rather than a feeling of being stuck.
Inner strength. Reflect on a time you successfully let go of something difficult in the past. What strengths did you use then that you can use now?
A small act of letting go. What is one small symbolic action you can take to honor your intention to release this attachment?
Embracing the new. Write a few lines of encouragement or a personal mantra to celebrate your journey into a more liberated state.
All right, we did it. Okay.
All right, all right. How'd you do, Alex?
I did pretty good. This was pretty eye-opening for me. I was kind of struggling at first, and then I kind of pinpointed, you know, one of my more, unhealthy and prevalent attachments, which is to fear.
Oh,
And yeah, I know. I was thinking about some emotional attachments, and I actually did a quick like Google search just to kind of get an idea of like, the different types of attachments and stuff. And I've always known like I have a lot of emotional attachments to things, and fear is the big one for me. And anxiety in general has been just such a strong force in my life for as long as I can remember. And despite all of the therapy I've done, it's still a struggle for me, and it's something that actually came up in therapy today. And I used some cognitive behavioral therapy techniques to kind of help me navigate that situation. And it was just eye opening. Again, I've done so much work on myself, but it's like, you know what? Okay, I still have this kind of attachment to fear, and it's I think the core of it is me always trying to prevent anything bad from happening. And it's just, but the reality is that I am suffering in the meantime, and I am causing this pain and suffering for myself. And more often than not, those things that I've been fearing and I'm anxious about don't even happen. So it was nice to actually kind of get into, the different ways that I can start to release that. And I really appreciated the question about what's something, like a mantra you can say to yourself. And I just had it. Where was it? So it's just like, so it's, you are safe, you are capable, and you deserve peace. So that
I
was,
like it.
yeah, I
You do
actually,
deserve peace.
I know
You really
exactly.
do.
And so I thought this was really powerful, and really appreciate it, because it brought up again some stuff that just so happened to surface in therapy. And yeah, I'm just very appreciative, I think, for this particular. So thank you for writing this one, because this was very beneficial.
Yeah, I'm so happy to hear
Yeah,
it. It's interesting that that's where you took it to like a feeling, or like a state of being. Totally different from what I had going on, but I love that for you. I'm really I mean, we could talk about this like offline or whatever, but I'm really interested to hear a little bit more about like what that attachment looks like for you, because that's an interesting thing to say out loud, right? Like, I'm attached to fear, and that's like something that, like, on paper you can probably look at and be like, that doesn't, that
hmm,
doesn't make sense, or that's not going to serve me necessarily. But to actually call it out and acknowledge it, I think is super powerful. So I'm happy you got something out of it, and I'm happy it seems like it was kind of timely with some of the work that you were doing on yourself today. So
yeah,
really, really awesome. I hope you were
appreciate
able
it.
to, intentionally kind of let some of that go. And I think it must be exciting to just think about like the possibilities to actually be liberated from that, because it's like, all right, like, what would happen if you did let go of that, like if you did put down some of that fear. Like, it's not going to stop the world from happening,
Exactly. Yeah.
but if anything, like, I mean, it would it could equip you to handle things better, some of the things that you're probably fearful about, right? So
Hmm.
very, very cool. Mine was
Yeah.
about coffee.
Oh, that's
So
amazing. Okay, I love that. Yeah, I knew there would be a lot of physical attachments, but I didn't. That didn't resonate with me in the moment. So, tell us about your coffee attachment.
yeah, well, if you were to dig into the archives of Journal Party Live, there was a time where I actually did successfully put down my coffee habit, and I would actually, I would actually categorize it more as like a caffeine addiction. And you know me, I love to get up and work every day, because I think like part of my identity, it's wrapped around that productivity in the way that I intentionally serve. And so that's something like I'm really proud of. But I was able to kind of pick it apart a little bit, and the second prompt was really, really pretty powerful for me, which was like, just to what am I actually trying to get here? And it's trying to be productive for sure, but something was brought up when I was out of town the other week, doing some work with a client of mine. They had one of these like corporate coaches in there, and we did like a whole Enneagram test or whatever. And I I pulled a 3 on the Enneagram test or whatever. So I don't know that that's how you would say that. It's not like a score. It's more just like a personality sort of test. And mine is very much like then and like I value achievement, but what like the deeper desire there, or the need that I'm trying to fulfill, is the need to feel seen. And so I was kind of digging into that a little bit, because it kind of begs the question, like, well, do I really like, is the way that I am when I'm all hopped up on caffeine, like, really the way that I want to be seen? And no, it's not. I mean, I
Mm,
do love, having a sense of vigor and being passionate about what I do, but that's a little bit different than being like, jittery and all over the place. Like, it's much different. And I think that if I were, as I explored being a little bit more intentional about it, it's like, well, I could afford to slow down a little bit and be a little bit more present and a little bit more mindful. I think that I would probably be a little bit more effective in terms of getting some of my messages across, because instead of speaking just rapidly and all the getting all like overexcited about conveying an idea, I could be a little bit more intentional, a little bit more deliberate, and pause, be able to hear people out, have more of a feedback loop, and just a lot of it's easy to see. It's easy to see once you actually start asking those deeper questions, and like what is like the true value for you there. And so fortunately I was able to kick the caffeine habit a while back, so I know it's possible for me. And the other thing that I was kind of pointing to, well, there was one of the prompts that was I guess it was talking about it was number 8, about inner strength, and being able to borrow some of that from a previous accomplishment or whatever. And a big one for me was kicking nicotine and cigarettes. Like, it's so gross that I can even say that. Like, I'm like, so it's like almost shameful, right, that I had this nasty habit. But it was hard. Like, and it's weird how it like creeped into my life. But I was very attached to it. And it was almost like I didn't realize that it was a problem until it was like really, really a problem. And so, the thing that was actually really helpful was kind of going through a similar process where I really had to change my mind about the whole thing, about how I just viewed the whole thing. And like, I think I look at coffee in a similar way. Like, there's some value there. There's like a social value, and all of that can still be had with like decaf and like there's all sorts of ways to kind of get to scratch the itch that I was looking to have. And I think it just kind of comes down to changing your mind about it, and then, or at least for me, and then being disciplined about it, which I am pretty disciplined. And so that's not really the concern. I think I just needed to really realize that this was something that isn't serving me, and that I'm going to be just fine if I let it go, and probably better off. And so looking forward to that. And I think like the little symbolic thing, I've got like 3 more pages in this notebook. And so I think, symbolically, I'll pick out a nice new notebook for the next chapter. And that will be, the more caffeine free chapter. And I'm curious to see. My handwriting is like ridiculous, and I'm wondering if like it'll be neater because I won't be so jittery and shaky all the time. So
Probably.
anyway,
That's very interesting.
I see we got a lot of
good
comments.
commentary.
See what we got. Uh-oh. Siri thought I said Siri, and now something's gonna happen in my room. You ever do that? I gotta turn off the voice command. Anyway. Let's see. Terry says, I gave out 5 journals this month, passing on the love. I love
That's
that.
amazing.
I love that.
Good
That's
for you,
awesome.
Terry.
Yeah.
That's a
Bring more
great gift.
people into this. It's really, yeah. It really is too, because it's not even like one of those things where it's like, you should journal. And like, you're telling someone, because I feel like everybody kind of like wants this habit. I've never run into somebody who's just is like, and like a
Yeah,
nice notebook is such a nice thing. So, to give someone the tools to go within, I think is really awesome.
absolutely.
Gabby says, I realize more about letting go and be free that I mostly rounded my soul on myself to journals, and that one specific thing I always have to have a pen. Without it, I wouldn't know where to go. Well, I mean, you kind of need a pen if you're going to write in a journal, but is it like I'm wondering, is it like a specific pen that you're talking about? Is it like a specific journal? I mean, could be a healthy attachment. We'll see. Melissa says, the attachment that came up for me was the idea of what defines success. Interesting. What I was expected to do with college/career and where it's wound up going, and how it just doesn't fit me. Interesting. I've had to come up against something very similar. I mean, I just mentioned earlier that I kind of orient myself to like within achievement, and like that's how I strive to be seen, is by achieving. And like my upbringing, though, like the things, like the accomplishments that I would get love for were very different. Like the idea of success was very much rooted around like how much money I would earn and like how hard I would work.
Mm.
And so I do believe that I'm a hard worker, but like I definitely took a very unorthodox route career wise. I mean, partially just because I had to. Like when I got into the job market, it was 2008, and everything just crashed, and there was like no jobs, and so I had to kind of figure my own thing out. And so yeah, like it looks a lot different than what I think I was conditioned to want, and what I had imagined for myself. And I really I can relate to your share there. And I mean, look, I think I've seen you doing some really cool stuff, with the like the needlepoint stuff that you do, Melissa. I think that's really neat. And at some point we gotta get you on one of these things. I've seen people journaling via needlepoint, like that's like I saw someone keeps like an actual like thing where
Wow.
they sew in like their entries every day. So I
That's
don't know, maybe we could
incredible.
do
Wow.
something like that together at some point. But yeah, I mean, look, I love the way that you show up, Melissa, and quite frankly, like we Melissa's on our Monday sessions where we do stream of consciousness journaling, gratitude journaling, and then goal setting to prepare for the week. And um, Melissa, just candidly, like you are constantly in the things that I'm grateful for, just because you show up. And it makes my whole world more meaningful, and it makes my experience better. And so, to maybe challenge some of the conventional notions of success, like you've had a significant impact on me, and that's had a significant impact on this community. We get people writing in all the time about like what this does for them. And so you know you're a part of that, and I see it as success. So I hope that you found some peace and understanding in that process. But cool share. I totally relate. So does Gabby. Mary says, Melissa, I was thinking the same thing, the idea of perceived success, but I'm on a different path now, and being successful is no longer based on work metrics or career driven. And yeah, as someone who's in the same boat, like how liberating is that? I mean, it's certainly not without its challenges, right? Like I think like the conventional notions of success, like having a ton of money or something, can definitely make life easier sometimes. But I would say that since I've kind of changed my orientation around that stuff, everything's a lot more meaningful and a lot more fulfilling. I've found a lot more purpose, and uh, maybe I call it irony or whatever it is, but the actual like success, as I would have called it before, or how most people would see it, that's also started to show up as like a byproduct, almost without even trying. It's weird, like just amazing clients have been coming through the door lately for me, and it's certainly not because I'm like running ads to them or anything like that. It's just I think there's a funny thing about letting go of things. It's like the things that you want the most, like they tend to show up when you let go of wanting them so badly, or just letting go of like the need to kind of control that situation. So Mary's also in our Monday group, also in my also frequently in my gratitude lists. And said your mantra is now is be present.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. That's so critical. We're in
Alex and I are working on
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Go
we're
ahead, Vic.
mindful. No, just being mindful, being present. This is all we have right now, and we need to make the best of it. And so I'm fully behind that. So best of luck on your mindfulness journey, because we too are on one as well.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've done like a good mindfulness series. So maybe we'll get one of those in the coming weeks.
Absolutely.
Melissa says that mine lately has been follow your heart. I love
That's
that too.
beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, to lead with the heart and not with the head, if you can pull it off, is amazing. Easier said than done.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Trisha says mine was on clutter, stuff my family and I don't really need anymore. Old kids' clothes and toys, small kitchen appliances that don't get used, etc. It's hard to get rid of stuff. Yeah, it is. It is. For sure. Alex and I have been trying to do that as we prepare for this move that we've been planning forever, but it just keeps getting blocked. But yeah, it's one thing I've started to pay attention to is like, all right, like I'm pretty good at letting go of some of that stuff, but sometimes there's more coming in than is going out, and so I have to be careful
What are
about
you
that
trying to
myself.
say, honey?
Hey,
Just
I was
ignore
trying to
my
speak on my own
packages.
experience, but the yeah, like we just Alex, like you could totally get fly under the radar with that. By the way, the Amazon has a thing where they put it all in one box and just deliver one day of the week. I'd be like, oh, look at her go. I get it, you want it now.
It's terrible. It's another attachment I should let go of, and I will
Yeah,
work on that. Yes. But
I'll work on it too.
okay.
It's not just you. I only notice it in you because it's in me as well. Trisha says, especially when there's sentimental value or you spent money on it. Yeah, well, I mean, on that note, sentimental values, it's interesting, right? Because like you don't want to get into like hoarder territory, right? And I think like you can make like whenever I see that show, like people are attaching sentimental value to like all sorts of things and just trying to hold on to them. But what was I love the Marie Kondo thing. I feel like that just totally works. Like if you hold it up and if you feel joy, then keep it. But I definitely resonate with the having spent money on it. Sunk cost fallacy is really, really tough for me. And as somebody who's I struggled a lot with finances growing up, and so I attach like a lot more value to money than it needs to have. Not to say that it obviously you want to you want to be a good steward. You want to be mindful of how you use your resources. But I think like the fear of loss for me is particularly financially. Definitely, I hang on to stuff, and it's crazy. Like you ever open up your closet and you're like, I haven't worn that shirt in like ever. Like 2 years, and it's just like, am I going to? No, but it was $50. Like, what are we doing here? It's tough. I feel you. Melissa says, releasing old family stuff is so hard, especially with the emotional attachments to some things. Yeah, for sure. Well,
Absolutely,
especially,
Melissa.
because if it's someone like you don't, someone maybe who's gone, or, you don't want to let go. And I mean, yeah, that could be a whole other journaling thing, right? Just the way that the like our associations with things that we value, and how we like project that onto the material world. But the real good stuff, I think, is not material. I think maybe that's the key. But I don't know nothing. Don't listen to me. Shanda says, I gave my son my journal from you because he wanted to start keeping track of quotes. It's a start. Awesome. Well,
Absolutely.
if you
That's
need another one,
amazing.
let me know. I've got so many journals here. I was doing my taxes. They gave us a bunch of extra time here in California to do it because of the wildfires, and I procrastinated on it because I do that sometimes. And I, was going through like the part where you declare your inventory as a business, and I'm like, man, I have a lot of journal inventory here. Hopefully, it can save me some money on my tax liability. Melissa says, I've seen that woman who does those needle entries. It's really gorgeous. Yeah, yeah, I gotta find that.
Beautiful.
I think I actually saw it in like the journaling subreddit maybe, and someone was like, "Does this count?" And I would say totally. Like, I mean, I'm definitely partial to pen and paper, but like, I'm trying to be more careful about like not discouraging people from doing like digital or needlepoint or however they want to do it. I think like ultimately it's, finding presence and documenting an experience. And, within that, like all sorts of insights and understanding come. And so, you know, I got to be better about maybe not gatekeeping it. That said, I feel like I don't know. It's kind of like it's like our thing, our pen and paper journaling, right? So that's why I haven't built journaling into the app. Like, well, that and I also just don't want to have your data. Like the last thing I need is people's secrets, and oh gosh, if we got hacked or something, that would be a
Oh gosh,
nightmare.
no.
So. Trisha says, definitely not close to hoarder status, thankfully. But yeah, stuff definitely needs to go. The thing I need to remember is that when I spent money on it, the money is already gone. So, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to put it. I mean, money's it's just a symbol for value, and then like I guess everything. The value is whatever we assign to it, and so I think that's just an opportunity to maybe be intentional. And oh, there we go. My timer went off. My light's going out. That means it's 7 o'clock. We are at the end of the chat, so I think it's about time to wrap this party up. Hopefully, you aren't too attached to us. You'll be able to let us go nice and easily. Anyway, folks, really appreciate you joining us for another session of Journal Party Live. Alex and I, we've been doing a little bit better over here, and a lot of that's because of you guys. And so really appreciate you guys showing up, holding space for each other and all that jazz. Let me know if there's anything that you want to be journaling about in the coming weeks. And also just, being real with you guys, we're going through something right now, and so there may be some sessions that we have to move around or postpone in the coming weeks and months as we get clarity. I'll try to be as good as I can about communicating that with everybody. But I think that that said, we're Journal Party for life. Right? So we'll try to keep the goods coming. So definitely do let me know if there's anything that you want to be journaling about in the future. I haven't recorded this Saturday's session yet, but I do plan on doing that. And so stay or be on the lookout for some comms about this Saturday's journaling session. For those of you who aren't aware, check out our YouTube channel. We've been doing live premieres every Saturday. So there's a chat, and you guys can journal and chat with each other as we do. Except for it's kind of like a bite-sized version of what we do here on Journal Party Live. So definitely check that out. Also, we've got a new version of the app coming out, hopefully soon. I've got a lot of testing to do though. So for that, if you're interested in maybe beta testing some of the new features of the new Journal Party web app, please let me know. Feel free to send me a DM, and I'll get you set up with an account on that. And there's definitely some kinks we got to iron out on that. But happy to hook it up with maybe some free membership for those people who help me squash all those bugs. And I think that's really all I got. So I see some people saying thanks and good night. And with that, thanks and good night. Alex, you got anything to leave them with?
No, just thank you as always, and enjoy the month of October. I don't know about you guys, but I love spooky season, and I got some new recommendations for scary movies that maybe my husband won't join me for.
Movies.
I don't care. I'll watch them by myself as long as he's in the other room. But yes, just enjoy and thank you again as always. And I just hope everyone has a great rest of their week.
Awesome. Well, everyone, it's been real. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. And as always, party on.
Party on.